Hi, this is Senior Esteban.
This is Kyle.
And this is Steve. And you're listening to another proud production of the 4i Radio Network, also known as The Fern. For more great content, check out www.4iradio.com.
Yeah.
Hello, and this is Stephen Mooney. I'm here to talk to you about one of our proud sponsors on the 4i Radio Network. They are called America Joy Print Shop. If you're looking to do business cards, flyers, posters, banners, cut vinyl, car wraps, and more, then definitely check out AmericaJoy.com for more information. And tell them the Fern sent you.
Hello, and welcome to the Idiot Section, a place where you can sit back, kick off your shoes, crack open a beer, and listen to a bunch of idiots talking nonsense, criticizing things they know nothing about, and sharing stories of other like-minded simpletons, proving once again that the true distinction between animals and humans is our ability to willfully act, say, and do stupid and idiotic things just because we can. Who knows? You may even identify with the moronic things that we've done the past 2 weeks, or even have encountered the idiots whose stories we tell and the acquaintances we've met. What's worse is you might even be one of the idiots we will talk about this week. Either way, we hope you will enjoy our banter and offbeat insight into the human condition, albeit the less than a full-deck version of one. Our musical intro was written by Henry Jerome and was used as the musical intro to the Soupy Sales show in the 1960s and again for his revival show in the 1970s. If you've never seen any of Soupy's work, try to catch him on the internet. You won't be disappointed. My name is Senor Esteban, and together with my co-hosts Kyle and Stevo, we tackle the tough news stories of the week and share our real-life experiences, providing those special insights that only an idiot can provide. We share our thoughts and comments on a wide range of subjects, not only because we have a wide-ranging interests, but mainly because we have short attention spans. As always, the discussions and comments on this show are the opinions and unsubstantiated beliefs of the participants and do not represent the views of the 4i Radio Network, the Socially Awkward Studios, or the high-quality sponsors of this or any other entity associated with the broadcast. Furthermore, any celebrity impressions or voices you hear on the show are used for entertainment purposes only. Our show should be listened to for the pure enjoyment of it and nothing else. Now, this is our 12th show for the 4i Radio Network, or the Fern, and today we are taping the show a mere 12 days before Thanksgiving. This version of the Idiot Section is coming to you today from Uncle Bob's Turkey Farm, located in Chandler, Arizona. You know, I think you can hear the little devils behind us now. With me today is Uncle Bob, the owner of Uncle Bob's Turkey Farm, and we just wanted to chat a little bit with him. So, Bob, with Thanksgiving less than 12 days away, this must be a real busy time for you getting the turkeys ready.
Yes, sirree. As a matter of fact, you can see Zeke behind us with the hatchet, getting ready to start beheading the birds that have been selected for Thanksgiving dinners.
You know, Bob, I noticed that there is a group of turkeys hanging around the barn. Do you think that they believe that something might be up?
Well, the big one in the back is an instigator and has been trouble for all year. He will be the first one to get the decapitation.
So you're going to send Zeke after him first, huh?
We're going to get Zeke to grab him and decapitate him.
No, I'm not doing that.
Do it, Zeke.
Well,
it's your job.
Okay.
Yeah, Zeke,
Poke
get
you
on
with your
with
poking
it.
stick.
Hey,
Now-
don't make fun of the poking stick.
Oh, I don't know, Bob. He looks like he's sizing up the situation as if he's got some sort of plan.
Nah, I don't think so. Turkeys are like the dumbest animal on the planet with a brain the size of a pea. All they do is eat, poop, make other turkeys, and wait for the X. Go
Well,
get him, Zeke.
that may be so, Bob, but it looks like that big one is hiding something near the corner of the barn. Wait, is that? Oh my God, he's pulling out a rifle.
Go get him, Zeke.
Oh no!
Well, I'll be damned. I think he took Zeke's leg off with that first shot of his. Oh, no, he's coming right for us.
Well, Bob, thanks for being a guest on the show. We're out of here.
I'm out. You don't get overtime, Zeke.
Whew, that was a close one. So, Kyle, what have you been up to since the last show?
We started running with the dogs more. I've been told that I'm fat, surprisingly,
No.
from the doctor. So he said, like, just increase the exercise. So we were trying to find something that's more engaging with, like, getting cardio. And the problem we have, though, is that we get home, I usually take the dogs out, we come back, and then we work out. And then the problem is, like, we're really exhausted. We don't want to do really anything more than we need to. So I was like, well, they love pulling and running after the rabbits, and Lindsay likes running a lot. So I was like, well, why don't we just run? We'll just take them out once. We run with them for 30, 40 minutes and then come home. And then that way we're done. They're tired then. They've done their business. We've gotten our workout in, and then we're good to go.
Now, Kyle, what business are they?
Well, they're in the pooping business.
Oh, okay.
They're not very good at it either. That's why
okay.
that's why we've gotten them to start running more. Because we find, like, the littlest one, Daisy, is so hyper that I don't think she's getting all the energy out. So then at the end of the night, like, Buddy's trying to sleep, and she wants to play. And, of course, her activity level is higher than his, so we've been jogging more, and it seems to have been going pretty well. We've had some hit and misses there where cars don't like to wait, so I tend to like try to let them go because they don't pay attention either.
Right,
and
yeah.
So
because they're idiots.
Well, it is. I mean, like, they should be watching for pedestrians, but it's also the case of, like, I'm not going to take the risk of just going and then getting hit because they're not paying attention.
Right.
I'd rather just say, you know what, just have the right. Go ahead, you're bigger than me, and I'll catch up. So they've been doing really good, though. Like, we've been hitting about 30, 35 minutes every day, and then they're both, like, tuckered out by the end of the night. Even so, that Buddy, he gets so tired now, like, on the way back that he'll actually start nipping because he's like, slow down, like, wait up. Like, he actually grabbed my cab the other day and was, like, trying to get me to, like, stop. Like, I need a minute. Like, and I had to, like, sit there and I had to pet him. Like, oh, are you tuckered out?
Yeah.
So, because he does the same. Like, he'll go full instead of just trotting like Daisy does. And then, of course, she can trot all the way back. But, of course, he's like exerted himself.
Yeah, he spent his candle.
Pretty much,
basically.
yeah, he's pretty much done. So we've been doing that, and that's been going pretty well.
You were saying.
So
Yes, I
Esteban, Stevie,
Yes.
Steve-O, what have you been up to?
Just same old, looking for work. I love how I keep getting phone calls for jobs, and then I call them back, and they're like, okay, we'll set up an interview, and then they don't set up the interview.
They never
so
set up any interview.
I don't know what's going on with that. And then hopefully my unemployment thing is fixed. We'll find that out hopefully in the next couple of days.
In the next episode of
Yeah, the next episode of Steve-O and the unemployment checks.
So yeah, that's just been just one big convenience after another.
Yeah. Well, what I love is what you were kind of telling me earlier this week. I love this. Okay, he fills out all this stuff on unemployment, puts in his address, his new address, his name, all that other stuff. Unemployment sends him all this stuff here that he's got to fill out. So he goes online, he starts submitting stuff. Then he gets a letter from the bank where his debit card is supposed to be sent from to this address where he lives, telling them that he hasn't activated his debit card yet. And when he calls them, they say, well, we have the old address. Okay, well, if they have the old address, why did they send the activation notice to the new address?
exactly, yeah.
I mean, and not only that, they sent, what, 2 letters to you about that?
Yeah, they sent the first one. They sent one announcing that they're going to be replacing their debit cards with Chase Bank to Bank of America, which was funny because when I got it, I was no longer filing for unemployment. It was like I was done with them for like a long time, so I'm like, I don't even know why I'm getting this. So then they send in the follow-up going, you've not activated your card. I'm like, I've never got my card. And when I called the guy, the only thing he could tell me is that
My dick's on fire.
no.
Well, all the more reason why you didn't get your card.
But they send
Yeah.
it to the wrong address. So it's okay.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, I love that. Anyway, that's our fabulous state government and work. And what I love is there's nothing was ever figured out as to, well, what happens if there is a disconnect between this group and this group? How does this individual get the money that they're rightfully entitled to pay the bills that are due now? Because SRP and the apartment complexes and, your Visa cards and all, they don't care that you're not getting paid. They just know that they're not getting paid.
Yeah.
So what I love is there's, you call unemployment and you say, look, this is a situation. I can't get to my money that is sitting in the bank. I can see that it's there.
Yeah.
I can see how much is there, but there's no other way for me to get it out except with this debit card that you can't send me because they don't have the right address.
Right.
I mean, it's like and then I guess you did talk to somebody at unemployment. They said, oh, yeah, we've had this problem with, with quite a few people.
Finally, the last person that I spoke to, which was on my day, because
Right,
you have to call on a certain day.
Right.
But this is the first person who actually was not giving me attitude. Like, it wasn't like,
Right.
hi, what do you want? She was like, hi, how can I help you today? And she was very pretty much the nicest person I've dealt with at unemployment so far. But I got her name, I got her number. And then she goes, okay. She's like, yeah, it looks like in the notes. And this was the first woman that I actually heard like typing from.
Yeah,
Like it was like she's filling out everything.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. She's like, okay, well, it looks like they did resubmit it. But she's like, yeah, that was like October 30th, and you still haven't gotten your debit card. I go, no. She goes, okay, tell you what, I'm going to do another resubmit, but I'm going to put your new address in the email so they know to update it to that one. And she goes, it looks like this has been a problem that's been going on for quite some time, so hopefully this will fix that. She's like, I don't understand why the last person who did it did not put your new address in or whatnot. So
Right.
I was like, well, I don't know. The woman's was kind of being a bitch. I felt like saying, but decided not to. But yeah, that's the other thing. This is the thing that worries me. Okay, it's like you're having so much problems with the post office, DMV, unemployment, and you literally like everyone thought the government should really take over healthcare.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Like I don't care whose idea it was, even if it was the Republicans' idea that came out. I'm like, okay,
It's a bad idea.
a bad idea, no
Yeah.
matter how you look at it.
I'm sorry, the government can't do anything. The only thing the government can do right is spend too much money. That's
and
all
tax
they
you.
do.
And
Right,
tax
and tax you. And throw away money. Remember the like $400 hammers and
Yeah.
$1,200 toilet seats and stuff like that the government, oh yeah, that's okay. But you never you hear about that, but you never hear about any consequences. I mean,
Yeah.
to me it would be okay if I was the congressman or I was the committee members that said, oh yeah, we approve these hammers and stuff. They should have come back and said, well, you know what? A hammer is really only about $10.
Yeah.
So we're going to take the $390 out of your salary because you
I'm sorry.
this,
If
yeah.
you did that at a normal job, like
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like,
they'd
if you're,
fire your ass.
they'll be like, "Why did you spend $400 on one hammer?" It's like, "Well, it's a really nice hammer." It'd be like, "We're trying to save the company money." Like that's okay. That was like the only thing when they said when Donald Trump said he was going to run for president. That was the only thing I was like, okay, well, if he did get elected, which I know he wouldn't, but if he did, I'm like, could he at least just run it like a goddamn business?
Right. Well, that's one of the problems that I've had all along. You have the government being run by politicians.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, no offense. Okay, I'll make no bones about it. I have never been a big Obama supporter, only because I don't believe that he ever had
This is the first I've
the
heard
cry.
of it.
Well, I know it's a shock. I'm glad you boys are sitting down because the look on your faces right now is like you could have sworn I was Obama's biggest advocate. But I mean, his whole background was he was a community organizer. Okay, he organized the community, and he says, "Oh boy, let's put up signs or something like that, or let's have a show or something like that." So okay, in your background,
Yeah.
where have you ever had to deal with like budgets or
Yeah.
meet with disparate people? I mean, usually if you're a community organizer, you're organizing people that want to be there. What do you do with people that don't want to be there? You go to the you
give
should
them
be
a
here.
gift basket and send them home. And the gift basket,
Or you give them health care, I guess.
the gift basket is got $4,000 billion in it
Yeah.
because I like to just grab it and go make it rain.
Okay, the other
Make
thing
it
I love
rain,
about that, remember, okay.
make it rain.
Okay, so
Obama
Obama
out.
promises everybody that, you'll be able to keep your health care going to this new thing. And that was a lie because everybody started losing their health care. They were being canceled left, right, and center.
Mhm.
And then Bill Clinton comes on and says, you really should kind of keep your promise to the people that you said. You said you were going to do this, and now you're not, and so then he had to reverse himself and come back. Well, I was reading or heard an article about this one company in Ohio that said they started sending out the cancellation notices because there was no way that they could afford to insure the people with the new mandates
Right.
Mhm.
that they had. So they declined and said, sorry, you got a 30-day, 30 days you're going to be gone. And they did that. So they canceled them all. And now 2 weeks later, they come back and say, oh, no, those will be okay. So now they got to hurry up and try to find software that they could use to reinstate all these people.
All these people.
I mean, it's just like a big cluster.
Yeah.
You can
You
say
know?
it. Big cluster fuck. It's ridiculous.
Just,
But when Bill Clinton did call me,
I don't drop just F-bombs.
I just told him I don't take advice from liars.
Yeah, it's a big mess. Well, that was the thing I just read about the post office. They lost $50 billion this year because of they're just losing business. And then they finally did a smart thing with Amazon, as I guess the USPS has signed with Amazon over the holiday season, so they're going to be doing deliveries also on Sundays to try and get that business from Amazon. And they were saying, well, that doesn't make any sense because Amazon has a lot of times free shipping with things over a certain amount.
Right.
So they said they're not really explaining how they're going to get paid and stuff because of that. But I guess it was some contract deal that they made with Amazon.
I'm sure Amazon will give them something to do.
Some profit of it, yeah.
Right.
Some taxation and whatever, yeah.
But that's all well and good. But the problem is, if the post office could actually get the mail to your mailbox. The other day I went out, I had a Good Housekeeping magazine. It was for the woman across the street.
Oh, nice.
Her last name begins with an H. My last name begins with an M.
He's looking like...
If you're not going to hire people that at least went through the ABCs and kindergarten and knows that, this H probably doesn't belong in the M box. And your name is on the inside of the box, too.
I don't understand.
They just probably looked into the cul-de-sac and were like, man, you can probably enjoy this.
You know what? Read it. Maybe subscribe. Bring it over when you're done.
Whatever.
You'll be fine.
There's just certain things where I don't know anymore.
Here's your
I'm
Christmas
starting to
presents.
believe that I really want.
I don't think the government should even run the government.
I really want. I really hope that Japan gets keep moving on their robots because I say we just replace half of these tedious jobs with just robots.
That's true.
At least because then if there's an error, then it's like, all right, we just have to reprogram.
You could get
or reboot them.
You get really cool robots, and you could be like the Kennedy robot, and you can be like
I tried to
0,
give you mail, and you
1.
did not want it. I thought you would enjoy this magazine of home.
I'm not a crook. Robot. I am not a crook.
Your birthday money fell out on its own.
The money's in Harvey's house.
Anyway, what I've been up to the last couple
what
of
have you been
weeks,
up to?
I'm in the process of getting my entire inside of the house painted. So
Ta-da.
that's been a lot of fun. All the moving and the cleaning and trying to pack away stuff so that it's not in the way, and then realizing, I need that thing. Where the heck did I put it?
My clothes go?
And so I had to go look for it. And but the crew we have they've been pretty good. There's a couple little things with it that's kind of weird. I mean, the guy, the reason why we want this one painter is he did say what they would do is they would start in one area and do that, the ceilings, the walls, the baseboard, the doors, which is great because we're living there. So because one of the other guys we were talking to, he said, well, what they do is he sends in a crew and they do all the ceilings and the baseboards and the floors. And it's like, well, where am I supposed to go if you're going to be in the whole house doing that? It's not like, you just lump everything in the middle of the room and, when you're done. So then the next thing was, so this guy says, okay, so they came in, they did the living room, dining room, then they did the hallway, they did the kitchen and the family room. And then from there, they worked in the downstairs bedroom, which is good. But the problem is they leave a lot of little things undone, like in the laundry room, they didn't finish that. They didn't finish the downstairs bathroom yet. It's like they started it, but then
maybe they went and then they realized they were at too much time or something.
Well, no, it's not even that. It was just I don't know if it's because they figured, they can come back and redo everything. They just want to get the major stuff done. Because maybe they get.
Because you would think if they're already in there, just finish it up, and that way it's one less thing.
Right. And then because basically what it is, the bathroom's still a mess because all the stuff's in there. I mean, the kitchen, you're going to have to pull these two appliances out to do that.
Get in there, yeah.
And then there's a couple of other touch-ups, unless they just send somebody in one day to just go ahead and do everything. But still, the whole thing is, it's like, okay, just because you come that day and paint that, if you're going to expect me to pay in full for the whole thing, I want to take a couple of days to look at everything and make sure it's painted and it's the way I want it to be. I'm not going to just fork over the remainder of the payment and stuff. So, but we'll see. Now, my big news is yesterday I had my ingrown toenails removed from both toes.
Whee!
The doctor who did it was really good, though. I mean, so he actually asked me if I was gonna mention the surgery on the show today, and
Give you a discount.
Yeah, he doesn't want the
Uncle Pete's crazy toe removal.
Uncle Bob's turkey toe removal.
Yeah, Zeke, get the hatchet.
Get the hatchet. We got a toenail to remove.
I lost my leg.
Oh, okay. So,
But you
yeah.
won't lose your mullet.
But I said no. I said I would probably talk about it. I would probably say that it was very good and I liked it, but I wouldn't use his name because he goes
Obviously,
he didn't
yeah.
want the medical board to come
Oh,
down
yeah,
on
yeah.
him come
Hey,
Monday.
what's his
Hey,
name?
you know what? This guy's on the blog talking to you about, and he's on the idiot section. You must be an idiot, that kind of doctor to work on it. But yeah, that was he was good. He was he got in. He basically he did the same thing to my toe. We had to do to your mom as far as injecting it with like the Novocaine or
Oh, yeah, to
the
get it so
lidocaine
it's, like,
to get it
numb or-
numb. And your mom was like, when I saw her face, I said, okay, this is going to really hurt. I mean, it was painful, but it wasn't like
A lot of times if you're not
looking.
looking at it, you don't even
Yeah.
notice. Like they hit you and you're like, oh.
But
like,
then
I
he
know.
brings out his actual tool for it, and he's all like, "I got it covered."
I got two buzzing in.
I thought you were gonna bring out a turkey.
Yeah.
Here's my
okay.
tool for
Here's
it.
my tool, turkey tool. Anyway, Kyle, you have an idiot or fun story of the week?
Yeah, this was a pretty funny article. Like Lindsay and I were watching the Daily Show, and we just kind of have it on a lot of times in the background because they've been really big on the crack mirror and a whole bunch of other things. But the one that they've been recently did was because they finally finished the spire in the World Trade Center. They finished it and they finally it's up. It's now considered one of the tallest buildings. They have the spire on top, and of course then Chicago lost the right to be the tallest building. So then of course they would just assume with the being because of the tragedy, and this is finally a triumph over it. Look what we were able to accomplish. Look what we've done.
Right, we rebuilt.
As a
basically,
country,
yeah.
we've rebuilt. Good job, everyone. Right away, Chicago's nah, we're still bigger, because they're saying they
Right.
are an official building where they just consider that an antenna. They don't consider it a spire. So, the Daily Show is making fun of them for that. So they said, well, let's agree to disagree. We both have two great cities. We have really great stuff. And then with that, someone started jabbing about the food in New York, saying oh, well, Chicago's got so much better food. Yeah, you can have the tallest building. We still got the best food. And that's when Jon Stewart just went nuts and was litting into them about their cuisine and stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I think this is a clip from that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll post the whole video because the whole thing is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna be nice. But now you've gone too far. So let me explain something. Deep dish pizza is not only not better than New York pizza, it's not pizza. It's a casserole. I'm surprised you haven't thought to complete your deep dish pizza by putting some canned onion rings on top of it. It's a cornbread biscuit which you've melted cheese on, and then, in defiance of God and man and all things holy, you poured uncooked marinara sauce atop the cheese. Atop. The cheese on top, the sauce, naked, cold, on display like some sort of sauce hooer. You know the expression, there's no such thing as bad sex or bad pizza? Your pizza is like sex with a corpse made of sandpaper. Let me tell you something. This is not pizza. This is tomato soup in a bread bowl. This is an above-ground marinara swimming pool for rats. Let me tell you something about your not pizza. I want to know when I get drunk and pass out on my pizza that I'm not going to drown. Let me tell you something. I look at this. I look at this moron. You son of a bitch. I look at this. Yeah. Gabagool. I look at this. When I look at your deep dish pizza, I don't know whether to eat it or throw a coin in it and make a wish. And if I made a wish, it would be that I wish for some real pizza. Now, in all due respect, I realize it's very cold in Chicago, very cold. It's windy. You need to be able to, I don't know, have a pizza and maybe cut it open and climb inside it like a tauntaun to keep warm. Seriously, who you kidding? Who uses an iron skillet to make a pizza? You don't use an iron skillet to make a pizza. You use an iron skillet to fend off someone who tries to serve you pizza made in a skillet. Here's how I know I'm right. You call it Chicago-style pizza. You call it deep dish pizza, stuffed pizza. You know what we call it? Huh? You know what we call this? You know what we call this? Pizza. Oh, that's nice. And by the way, you don't put tomatoes and celery salt on hot dogs either. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows there's 3 acceptable condiments for a hot dog. There's mustard, onions, and stagnant cart water. That's it. We'll be right
Stagnant cart water.
So that was a pretty good clip, and they have visuals and stuff, which made it funny.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
he said the thing with the tauntaun, they literally have Luke in a tauntaun in a pizza.
In a pizza. Oh god, that's pretty funny. But that's true. You know, that was one of the things. The first time I had like Chicago style
you're
pizza,
like,
it's like,
What the hell is
okay, this
Yeah.
is Do. So, Steve-O, you got an idiot or fun story?
Yeah, I would say the idiot for us this week was everyone who was showing up after midnight to still trying to get a PlayStation 4.
this? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
basically, when we showed up at GameStop, what's his face?
Marlon?
Marlon said, he's like, we have 4 left that weren't pre-ordered yet, and there's 4 that if someone wants to come in right now and pay for it and then pick it up at midnight, they can. But literally, I think we got there, they had 4 left, and by the time I think,
I was in line to talk to them.
and by the time Kyle came out, they were gone.
Yeah,
so
they
it's
had already
like
sold.
it was like we already knew this was going to happen with systems and stuff like that. So to me, it's like if you're in line and you've already have your reserve for your system, then you're golden.
Right.
But if you're showing up afterwards, I'm like, you're the kind of people that were just like, oh, just come in.
Right.
Like literally one kid.
And they probably complained about not having the systems there to buy.
Well, Best Buy was doing it too. Like they had a midnight release also, and like,
Right.
I was telling Marlon, like, look, I don't need to steal customers from you because like if they want it that bad, they're gonna go anywhere to get it. You're a small store, so you can only have so many. So it makes sense to be like, well, we'll have some tomorrow's shipment. Like right now, this is it. This is all we got, and like the benefit of it was the pre-order to lock in that you're going to have them because they will. I'm guaranteed.
Right,
they
the
will sell out.
availability is
Yeah.
what you're basically
Exactly.
getting.
Yeah. So then, we were kind of telling people as they were showing up. Like this one guy hops up on a bike. He's like, "Oh, you still got them?" And then we're like, "Sorry, no, like they're all out, but you can try the Best Buy. I don't know if they have any like just to sell because they're a lot bigger. Maybe they have more, but like they're pretty much like if you didn't reserve, you don't have it." And then we had like those kids in the cab that like pulled up, and then the one guy, the cab driver, was like, "Oh, they probably all the employees probably bought it." And we're looking at the guy like, "No, this thing's been like hyped for like over 6 months. Like it's sold out for a reason."
Yeah, technically, anybody who was an employee of GameStop, they were able to purchase theirs, but they weren't able to get theirs until tomorrow.
Yeah,
the next day.
That
Right.
was the rules.
That was the rules for them. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that was the
That's
thing, and that was the thing. I'm like, when we even showed up, it's all like they had 4 left. I was like, yeah, if I had a job and I had the money for it, yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah,
you know,
it was
purchased one or
crazy
anything
too
like
because
that.
we were literally watching people like because obviously it was like the one guy was funny. He pulls up on a motorcycle and it was like literally like 12:01, like his all direct deposit cleared. That's why he came up to try and buy it because he's like, "Cool, my direct deposit's in. I can finally buy it." And when we were in there, I mean, like the system was like $399. If you want an extra controller game, stuff like that, it increases it. There's a subscription to the year.
Yeah,
And like people like $600, like bam, like $800, bam, because they
Yeah.
just wanted like all the things with it.
Where
and
do
it's just
people
like,
get the money for this?
I-
shit?
Well,
I
that
don't
was
know,
well,
yeah,
that
like-
was like one guy we were talking to. His friend, he went in with his friend, and his friend was paying off his system. And then he's like, "Yeah, mine was an impulse buy."
yeah, he was like, I'll just
Like he
buy
just
it.
threw down the money, and I was just, he's like, "Yeah," because we're like, "Oh, what do you think about the system?" So he's like, "I don't know, I didn't even game."
He just wanted, like, he was like, got up in the hype and just walked in and bought one.
Wow.
It was
And
just
I was
like,
just like, "Well, if you're not really into it, I'm like, why don't we
Yeah,
just
we're just
kick
like-
your ass and take it, huh?"
well,
Yeah,
I was
really.
laughing
Huh?
because
You
he
stupid
came out.
cannoli.
Yeah, he came out and he just sat it there, and we're cleaning up. So I'm like, oh, thanks. And like, I'd like to, and he like didn't even make a move. Like he was really concerned if someone
Yeah.
just like came up and stole it because he
Oh,
was
wow.
like, he just bought. But I'm just like, couldn't believe like the money. But Steve and I were talking about that too. Like with the 2 consoles launched and with a couple big titles this year, they've basically almost grossed $100 billion in the game industry.
Holy cow.
For sales for just all the different products and stuff, and it's just like it's nuts. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Like with some of those people, I was like shaking my heads, like
Well, we even saw 2 people walked in. It was a couple. They walked in. They both bought a system each.
Each.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, why?
unless they have like a kid or whatever or something.
Either that or, you know,
Well, we made
maybe
one. That's
he
the one
wants to
thing-
play a game in his room.
Or-
She wants to play a game
Well, there was
in her
that other
room.
idiot too. So there was a guy, Steve and I talked about it last week on the studio show of Arcade Bros. for whatever reason, and I don't get like what the deal is.
Which is another great show on the 4-Eyed Radio Network, the Arcade Brothers.
Hey, it's they sent out some of the systems early, so if you pre-ordered on like Amazon or something, like Amazon's really good about like getting them out. So they did. They sent a lot of people their systems early. So Xbox was banning people from subscribing in, like for logging into their systems early because they want everyone to do it on the same day. So they've been blocking like a lot of those people who've already got their system. So this kid like must have gotten his PS4 like early.
No, you got an Xbox One
that's
early.
right,
That was
early.
it.
And so he goes right to eBay and says, if you'd like it like 3 weeks early, you can pay him $9,999 and you can get your system early. Like right now, you can have one. No one not only bought it, but then like they said, like the people who were getting theirs on, early from Amazon got blocked. So even if you got it, you couldn't even use it until like the 22nd. Or
But
whatever.
I even asked him. I go, look. I go, if you had that money, if you just had disposable income, would you even just like I want my system now. I'm gonna buy this from this kid. And Kyle goes, no, unless it was like an N64. When those
like
were
back in the day, like when that was like the system. If like someone said like I'll give you the N64 like a month ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
With the game because that's how it came. I would have been like, if you were loaded, you probably shelled it out. Like that was that guy. This guy pulls up Cadillac, like brand new Cadillac stuff like that. Like goes in, picks it up, like comes out almost like 2 bags worth of stuff. And we were just making the comment that he's probably like, oh yeah, I would heard about this. I flipped open my cushions, found the loose change. Came in here and used
found
like
the loose $100 bills that usually fall out of my pants pockets.
Oh, he's like drying his eyes with the hundreds. We're just
it's funny though because one woman was in line.
It's like that guy from the Geico commercial who just made a buddy.
Yeah, one woman was there with her kid, and I was like, "Oh, is anybody doing this as an early, Christmas present for themselves or whatnot?" And then the mom was like, "Oh, he like she made him raise his hand or whatnot." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, are you giving it to him tonight, or he's got to wait for Christmas?" She's like, "No, he's getting it early." I'm all like, "Give her a hug and tell her you love her right now." It's all like,
like we were like that's what we were saying. Like tell like your mom you love her, and like you could tell he was so embarrassed, but it was like, come on, man, like she's here, like giving you your Christmas present early.
I was all like, I'm like,
and it's a $400.
I'll put it this way.
Like,
remember our, we would get the video game systems, but we had to pay for them, but then we didn't get them until Christmas anyway. It's like, wait a minute, isn't this my money?
No. That's how cost of doing business.
No, I know. Well, that was the thing. Like, I didn't realize. I mean, when you were little, I was just like, yeah, whatever. But then, like, growing up, I was like, wait a minute. Dad takes $100 from Grandpa, when he would give us the money,
right?
And then he would take whatever other money that we like had towards it. I was like, well, technically, I bought the system anyway, so like, why do I have to wait till Christmas?
Those were hard times.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure you had a happy Christmas. So.
There you go.
We wanted you. Actually, the reason why we did it is because we figured if we waited and gave you your systems on Christmas Day, you would get them, you would go to your room, and you would leave us the hell alone. And it worked like a charm. See, we're not as stupid as you think we are.
I didn't say you were stupid. I was just like, no, it was us being stupid going like, wait a minute, I bought this.
So I'll pay you for this now and then not see it ever again. Okay.
We'll see it in 6 months. Yeah.
Right. That was about it with all the idiots. Now, I know it's going to be happening soon because next week is the release of the Xbox One, of course.
Xbox One
and then, of course, the Black Friday will be coming out. So
are you guys doing another GameStop thing for the Xbox One?
I think we'll do in the Xbox One. And then there's, I think that's it for until
I think that's it until like March, I think. I mean, the only other games that are really coming out, but which is weird, like Nintendo, which is weird because Nintendo's actually releasing 2 games the same night as the Xbox One is coming out. They're releasing Super Mario 3D World, and they're releasing the new Legend of Zelda for the 3DS. Oh. But usually, Nintendo, for some reason, they always release their games now on Sundays.
Oh. Yeah.
Like every other gaming, everybody else always release their games on Tuesdays. And now, for some reason, Nintendo, since I think the Wii,
they're upping the ante.
Well, I think it makes more sense. It's like it's the better buy with like Target ads. You open up your Sunday ad and like, oh, there's a system like or a game for sale. Yeah. Like I think that's what they're hitting that target audience. And they
get ready for a lot of craziness. I'm guessing this year because especially with the Xbox Ones and the PlayStation 3 and South Park had the greatest teaser for the next episode where they were talking about Black Friday. Matt played a clip on yesterday's.
Because it's like the adventure team or whatever. It's like the group of.
They're getting everyone together and they're going like, all right, for Black Friday, we're getting together for teams. We're all going to be buying Xbox Ones, and everyone's all like, no, I want a PlayStation 4. He's like, no, we have to dedicate ourselves to one console so that we can all play together and whatnot. Yeah. It's so great though.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm guessing pandemonium's gonna be as usual. So I'm just curious how many people are gonna get shot over these things.
Well, so far we were very impressed. Like nothing new, nothing yet for PS4, which was like that's great. Like no craziness. I think Black Friday is a whole another monster in itself.
Well,
but...
Black Friday, there was the part with Walmart. They had the exclusive Wii like Blue Edition or whatnot. Someone was walking out with, and the guy got shot over that. I'm like, really? I'm like,
well, people getting shot with Air Jordans, like all kinds of stupid things. I mean,
I just don't get it.
people even getting shot when they go for their shots. It's
That's I went to the doctor for a flu shot, and then I got shot when I'm.
You know what's gonna
when I was
suck? They're
leaving.
really like 300 years or like 700 years from now, when it's Black Friday, they're just gonna think about it. Oh, Black Friday was called Black Friday because there was a lot of black people mugging people. It's like, no, that's not what it was for. No.
Yeah, the history.
No, actually, probably 700 years from now, there won't be a Black Friday anymore. It'll be like Black Monday. It'll be the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Well,
that they start that.
But a lot of
well,
people.
Look at that Walmart, 6 o'clock in the evening on Thanksgiving. They're starting their so now it's like a Black Thursday.
Well, that's what Steve and I were saying. Like you go.
Yeah, because a lot of people, we asked them how many people are doing Black Friday, and a lot of them said we'd rather do Cyber Mondays.
Yeah, a lot of them were more like that because of like we were saying, like you have turkey, like you literally have the drumstick in your mouth while you're leaving to go to the store to buy stuff for Christmas.
Right.
Like, why not just take a day and relax? Like, I mean,
that's what I said. Like, I love that, like, the internet's available because, like, every Black Friday that I had off, I would literally go, oh, I got some of my Christmas money already that I'm going to spend for people, so that I can jump on Amazon, I can do my easy, and I can wake up anytime I want, do with a little bit of shopping that I need to do, because half the time, because what I realize is any of the stuff that I'm going to want usually literally doesn't come out until almost 2-3 weeks before Christmas, you know? Like, you'll be like, oh, like Kick-Ass 2, I guarantee that's not going to come out until, like, December, like, 12th or something like that, you know? And that's how most of the stuff you ask for. I remember video games, like the Turok one. Right. We asked for that, like, and you're like, when is this thing coming out? What?
It's like, push back or whatever. Well, then you had that issue, too, like, you never got charged for that or something, right?
Yeah, that was it was very funny in the very
early years.
In the very early days of the internet, when people were first starting to use it to actually sell stuff online. Excuse me, I remember we had dial-up. Remember we had the wire that ran from the upstairs plug down the stairs to the desk, so that we could look at it. And I remember, and this one guy had it online. I said, great, I found it, through Google or something like that. So I went ahead and ordered it, and the guy, and then all of a sudden, I got an email like a day or two later saying, oh, yeah, we received your order. Things on back order, you'll get it, and I sent him a scathing email. I said, wait a second, you said you had them in stock. Mm-hmm. You were ready to send them. I says, I refuse to pay for it and stuff. And the guy says, oh, okay, then
cancel
we'll just go ahead and cancel the order. But they still ship them anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I remembered you guys were like, oh, there was no Santa Claus and this and that. And I said, okay, what's your definition of Santa Claus? And they go, I don't know. He says, would it be like somebody gives you gifts that you don't have to pay for? And you would go like, well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I said, well, that's what happened with Turok. So what do you think? And they go, dinosaur attack. Yeah, I think the best.
Shut up, Dad. We're killing dinosaurs.
I'll go ahead and save our Christmas stories. But I think the best Christmas stories we used to have is whenever you guys would get bad, I'd threaten to call Santa Claus on the phone.
Yeah.
And then I remember this one night, you guys are just being absolutely horrible. Dad. And the phone rang, and it was my dad. And I picked it up, and I went, hello. And he goes, oh, hello, my boy. How are you? I go, oh, hi, Santa Claus. How are you? And you guys just stopped dead what you were doing. You were like fighting and you just stopped. You turned and you looked at the phone. And my dad was laughing his butt off on the other end of the phone going, oh, is there a problem? I go, no, Santa, I think they're trying to be good, but I don't know. It doesn't look good now. And you're like... and your eyes start tearing up and stuff, and it was like...
Actually, you know what? Now that you mention that, like, back in the day, you could get away with that kind of stuff, but now I'm thinking about it, like, if you have kids, you could really mess with them, be like, no, you have to be good all year round. Right. And since you have a Facebook, I can just go back in your timeline.
And see what you're
and see
what are you crying about.
Well, that's what you say. Well, Santa's going to check your timeline on Facebook and see when you've been good and when you've been bad. And he's going to total it up. And if you've been worse than you've been good, then hey, don't expect much.
He's going to see how many minutes you use.
You're going to get a you're going to get a tweet with coal in it.
Hello, darling. He'll unfriend you.
He'll unfriend.
I'm stop following this kid on Twitter.
No, don't stop following me, Santa, please.
I don't know about that, Davey. Quiet you.
Yeah. Anyway, I definitely, obviously you alluded to it before, but my Idiot of the Week award goes to the mayor of Toronto, Canada, Rob Ford. I don't know if you've heard or seen any information about the mayor of Toronto of Canada, but Rob Ford, he must weigh about 400 pounds, and in my opinion, this guy makes Anthony Weiner look normal. Okay, during a recent news conference, he was asked if he smoked crack cocaine. He eventually admitted that he did once when he was very drunk, but that he was not a drug addict, but he did not deny being an asshole. Exactly, Toby. Now, the city council in Toronto had asked Mr. Ford to take a leave of absence, but he has refused. On the same day that they asked him to leave, a truckload of new allegations were brought against the guy who refuses to step down.
In a Ford truck, nonetheless.
Yeah, in a Ford. Oh, very good.
Oh, like a crack
Mr.
ride.
Ford truck ride.
That's Trevor.
Now, the court report is about 500 pages long and alleges a pattern of drug use, erratic and sometimes abusive behavior, and the judge ordered the report's release late last month. Now, one staffer told the police that the mayor was inebriated on St. Patrick's Day in 2012 and got into a physical altercation with two staff members. He also alleges that the mayor was verbally abusive and inappropriate with a female staff member. Now, another staffer said the same night he saw a woman who may have been an escort or prostitute in the mayor's office. Now, during another recent press conference, the mayor addressed rumors that he had sexual relations with his former policy advisor, and he responded to an allegation that he had told a woman staffer that had asked about performing cunnilingus on another woman. Now, his response, and I quote, it says that I wanted to eat her pussy. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. And I love this. I've got more than enough to eat at home. That's what he said.
I have to say, this is like the worst Canadian ever. Aren't they supposed to be nice and polite and, sorry about Diddy?
Well, that's what I saw somebody said that he said that, I think it was on NPR, said that. Someone even said, like, in somewhere Anthony Weiner is, like, applauding, like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm not that bad.
Wow, see? And
Yeah,
I could have been mayor.
Yeah, but the bad part is when he was saying that, he's all like, I'm not that bad.
So
Click,
close.
click, click, click,
So
click.
close. I was so close.
This one goes to Brett Favre. And
Yeah, they. Well, one of his former press secretaries also said that women often came to the mayor's office and told staffers that they have smoked a joint with the mayor on the street outside of the bar. Then the same women were told by the mayor that they could have a job. The press secretary would then have to interview these women and try to talk them out of taking the job. Now, during Wednesday's meeting, Ford also made a further confession that he had purchased illegal drugs within the past 2 years while he was in office.
But I didn't smoke them, eh?
But I didn't smoke them.
Oh, wait, I did, eh?
It's like, do me a favor. Go into your HR department tomorrow and say this, that you've done all these things, and see how long you last.
See how long, HR, yeah. Well, the mayor insists that he has been a good mayor and that voters will decide during next year's election whether to keep him. And here's another quote from the mayor. I have made a mistake. I am human, he said. I apologize. I want to move on. And he continues to say that he has been subjected to a public flogging and that the experience has been the most humiliating thing in his life and maybe the worst week in his life next to his father's death. Now, despite his admission of drug use and heavy drinking, the mayor flatly denies that he is addicted to drugs or alcohol. He goes, the reason I drank or did drugs was not because of stress. It was out of sheer stupidity, he said. That's all it was. So my question is, so I guess Toronto has an admittedly stupid mayor. I mean, by his own admission.
Chronically.
Our mayor is stupid. He even said so. Now, the mayor's brother and other family members have defended him, and they blame the scandal on politics.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they said, Rob does not come into work drunk, although who knows if he leaves drunk. He said,
I leave all my liquor at work.
Yeah, because I'm not going to come into work drunk. That's just bad policy. So but he's tried illicit drugs under a drunken stupor. Well, he doesn't come into work drunk, but he probably leaves. Now, he's also not into drugs, and he's not drinking anymore. So he is moving in the right direction. And in my opinion, the public flogging has never seen anything like it. This man has apologized. He's asked for forgiveness, and the rest is sheer politics down here. So my thought is, I guess, yes, the politics is making him drink. It's making him smoke weed. It's making him smoke crack, and it's making him have an appetite for felines.
You know what the one guy said? He's like, "Your mayor is too damn high."
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've been thinking Anthony Weiner's checking this out and going, hey, this is I
Not
could
too
be
bad,
mayor
man.
of Toronto. I can't be mayor of New York, but I
Oh,
could be
sorry
mayor of
about that.
Toronto.
Hey, we don't like dick pics. If you're addicted to crack, though,
Yeah.
or drinking on the job, or eating your share of pussies, or having
yeah.
prostitutes, or
Oh, geez.
giving jobs to everybody, you could be president of Canada. But if you're sending your penis pics, no, thank you.
Yeah,
One
it's-
other story I saw this week was about drones aren't just for terrorists anymore.
Oh, no.
And again, this is out
They're
of
for
Canada.
kids.
Out of Canada.
Yeah.
Canada's the hot spot this week for some reason. The capital of Canada, Ottawa, has ordered drone strikes on a popular beach that is frequented by large flocks of Canadian geese. Though majestic and beautiful, the geese drop a lot of dung that raises the E. coli levels in the river, creating a health hazard for the bathers. Last year, the Petrie Island beach had to be closed for like 13 days. Now, the city has tried to use dogs, noise blasts, animal decoys, and countless other means to shoo away the geese, but nothing seems to work. The city even tried to spray some foul-smelling chemical, but the geese eventually got used to it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Now, what they do is they use a 26-inch wide remote-controlled hobby aircraft that was adapted by its owner for pest control. It takes off every morning at dawn and chases the geese away from the river.
Crazy.
So at least it doesn't nuke them. Well, I forget where is this? Was this from? I forget where about this took place, but this is kind of interesting, and we'll post the link because they actually show a little clip of it. There was during a report on the Lodi Grape Festival about why baboons like grapes, a female reporter from Fox 40 was presented with an unusual situation. A baboon called Mickey got a little too friendly and grabbed the reporter's right breast as she was doing a live piece to the camera. Reacting like a seasoned professional, she laughed it off, saying he's trying to cop a little bit of a feel. But the baboon, not only was he undeterred, and they have a picture of him on the that we'll put up. He shows him he's got this huge grin on his face. He's got one hand around her shoulder, and the other one is firmly clasped on her breast. And eventually she was able to say, join us soon when we'll be learning a bit more about why baboons like grapes. And then she had to get off the line because he wasn't releasing it.
That's hilarious. Oh,
Oh, those little monkeys.
Cheeky little buggers.
Does anybody have another story? Because I got a couple other ones here that I thought were pretty funny. There's a new condition, I guess. It's called sleep texting.
Yeah, there's also another one called drunk texting.
Yeah.
And-
crack texting.
Yeah. Mayor texting.
Or mayor texting. Yeah.
For tough.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
I'm drunk.
I mean,
Tough.
the one thing about the mayor thing that I don't get is like, okay, I can understand maybe you get drunk and someone's passing around a little weed and you smoke a little here. Crack cocaine, that's something you got to go look for. Like that's not just on a street corner where you can
Right,
be like,
yeah.
hey, excuse me, sir, can I get some milk and some crack? Like you have to go
Right.
find people to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that. So I mean, that's a little bit like that.
Yeah, I'm just picking up things for the wife. Get eggs, milk. Oh yeah, can I get a pack of crack?
Well, the thing that I love is like, okay, usually the people who are dealing with crack are kind of unsavory
Yeah.
characters. So even if he didn't have to look for it, obviously he's hanging around with some unsavory types that have access to this
He's
stuff.
like, I want you to meet my
Yeah.
new cabinet members.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of drug
This
dealers.
is Tyrese and Jerome.
Yeah,
Jerome.
yeah. You don't like the crack?
Yeah, we're down with this cabinet post.
By the way, can we take these cabinets?
And we're going to post them outside and sell them.
$49.95.
I need to get to college.
Well, you guys will like this story. A
Okay.
long time ago in a garage far, far away, there's a
Tyrese!
Star Wars collector breaks the Guinness Book of World Records with 300,000
Oh my
pieces of Star Wars memorabilia. The 68-year-old has written over a dozen books on the franchise and he even used to work for George Lucas.
Oh my goodness.
Now there's a little blip here on YouTube which goes in. It shows him going in. He's got like full-size statue of a stormtrooper, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and then he's got like shelving that goes straight down the thing that are just full of all these little characters like Han Solo's.
Oh wow! So he's like got
them
them all displayed.
Yeah, he's got them like all just down there, and it's all pristine. It's like really.
Oh yeah! Wow.
To see Steve Sansweet. Just don't mention Star Trek. That's because Steve has been collecting a lot of Star Wars pieces. And when I say a lot, I actually mean around 300,000.
He even has the mailbox, the R2D2.
Oh yeah, the old mailbox.
Fighter spaceships and Boba Fett. Steve has now found himself in the Guinness World Records book.
And he realized he's done nothing with his life.
Oh, he's got no wife, he's got no girlfriend, he's got no job no more. He just sits here and plays with his figures all day long.
I really wish I didn't have to do this interview with him. I could have been on the red carpet. But instead, I'm with Steve and his stupid Star Wars stuff.
Oh, and this is like little Boba Fett. And this is big.
I even have
Fett.
the moving statues of the alien group. This is fantastic. I am going to go home and kill myself. I'm moving R2D2, Panamana Bear's stupid headdress. Wow, you've really done nothing with your life, sir, have you?
Well, I'm a bloody collector, you know.
Oh, I'm a bloody, yeah.
I'm over 3,000 pieces of Star
You're
Wars.
68 years old, and you wrote how many Star Wars books? Which one got a Nobel Peace Prize? None.
How many Pulitzers have you won for those Star? Well, they're mostly pop-ups.
Obviously, they're not worth anything because George Lucas sold it off for $4 billion.
Oh.
So, Steve, do yourself a favor and go find yourself the Chewbacca belt and hang yourself with it. I am from England News. America, piss off.
Well, there's a man in Deltona, Florida, who attempted to pay his water bill with an envelope full of cocaine.
We already talked about this.
Did you?
All white Tukey.
Oh,
really?
white Tukey? Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, it was good though. Yeah, like I guess like they just get like this envelope and it was just like filled with white powder.
So of course they think like anthrax or something. Like,
That's what happened. The guy walks in and he hands an envelope to the woman and he leaves because he figures his bill and everything's in it. So what the authorities think is that he mixed up two envelopes.
Oh, right.
And the other envelope. So I would love to know what happened on the other end. He probably goes to this guy that gave him like thousands of dollars for this cocaine, and he shows up and gives him his water bill.
I'll give you an offer you can't refuse.
You know what? I think we have a little
I'm
problem
so glad
here.
I'm done with this interview. I'm going to do my cocaine. It's just filled with dollars.
Yeah, it's like...
And a check for $2. I can't even buy a Big Mac. I hate my life. I'm just going to do that guy now.
Guess what? Well, you're going to be swimming with the fishes, but you didn't pay your water bill, so there ain't no water for you to be swimming with.
The mayor of Toronto was like, where's that envelope for me?
Yeah, right. The mayor says, hey, from now on, any of these envelopes that come in for the water payment, you bring them right to me right away. I want to investigate them.
I just thought the mayor liked powdered donuts.
I'm going to be...
and that was the other thing,
I'm going to
too.
keep my nose to the grindstone.
That was the other thing, too. Like, for somebody who's a crackhead,
yeah,
like, he's pretty overweight. Like, I thought people who did crack, like, were pretty, like, thin. And
well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I take the crack and I stuff it in cheeseburgers. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing.
I like crack donuts.
Yeah.
Boxes of donuts filled with crack. That's what I do.
No, man.
Well, now
I hate the mayor of Toronto.
You had mentioned the sleep texting. Like, what's that about?
Oh, it's just people who in the middle of the night, I guess they wake up and they just start texting certain things out. And
is it like sleepwalking, like a sleep apnea, where you're just kind of up doing stuff and you don't even realize it? Oh man. Well, what if you had a password on your phone? Are they just able to go through that? Or is that something that would be able to stop them?
That's what I'm curious about because it's how does it work? Because like, are you like a little bit awake to do it, or because wouldn't you like sleep texts and like sleep like Twitters and stuff? Would it just be like jibba jabba?
Yeah. No. All of a sudden you wake up in the morning and you're Facebook friends with like mass murderers or something.
Exactly.
How did this happen?
Charles Manson.
I'm getting out
so
today.
Glad they got
I'm coming
me.
to stay with you.
I did not want to be your friend.
Yeah, quit.
Steve, quit contacting me about your stupid Star Wars collection. I am not coming to your birthday party. I am not coming to your Star Wars anniversary party. And guess what? You are not going to be in Episode 7. You'll be dead. Because by my hands, I will kill you with this lightsaber you gave me. I'm the mayor of Toronto.
Yes, may the force be with you too. Yeah, it hangs up on him. Click.
I have a little section here that I would like to call the missing link, in which we discuss website links that either don't work, that should, or take you to some other weird and wacky place that no one should ever have to see. So this is the deal. I'm online and I just log off my email account for MSN, and I end up on the MSN homepage as usual and start going through like the little headline blips that come across the screen to see if there's anything that appeals to me. So they have this story that's called The Weirdest News of 2013. And specifically what I'm interested in is there's a story about this one guy who found out that the bike lane on a bridge across the Hudson River in New York City was going to be closed for like a month or two. And that's his basic transportation to and from work is going across this bridge. So he came up with some idea. What he did is he developed these flotation devices that allow him to attach his bike to it and ride his bike over the water.
Let it paddle.
Right, with a paddle and all that stuff to the other side. So I'm reading this article and I go, man, this is kind of cool. And then there's a little link within the article that says, how does this work?
So you're thinking, how does this work?
Hey, that's a pretty cool idea and I'd like to know how it works. So I clicked the link. So since Bing is the Microsoft version of Google, I guess, Bing takes me to 3,900 results. Okay, now that works fine because on the side it shows, the bike this and the bike that. But what I really started wondering was on the right-hand side of this, they have what are called related searches. Oh, no. So I says, okay, let me see what's related to a guy who creates flotation devices for his bike and rides across the Hudson River. Okay, now these were the top 8 ones in order that came up. The first one is, my wife died after giving childbirth.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, the second was, wife died during childbirth. 3 is, mother died after giving birth. Mom dies after giving birth. Number 5, can you die giving birth? And then finally, number 6 is bridge across the Hudson River. Okay, that's kind of related.
Yeah.
Biking across the Hudson River.
More
that's
relatable.
really related. And then I guess it's Francisco to New York City. I guess biking. So,
okay.
I just, to me, 6 and 7 and probably 8 are related. What Bing uses as a criteria to come up with, the death during childbirth is beyond me from this bike story.
Well, we did a story with Steve at Star Wars, and he told me that when you ride your bike, you could die giving childbirth. I do not know where he got his information. Probably.
I think some of the best ones to do, too, is if you go to, Google and ever just type in, what is or how to, you propose a question and just see all the options that come up.
Oh, yeah.
We did that at Bookman's one time. Zeb was he was searching for a game or something, so he was typing in the game, and it was how, and then as soon as it came up, it was just the last one was how do I tell everyone that I've killed my parents? Meaning somebody sat there and Googled that because he did that. And you're just oh my God. So then here's one I just did. I just said how to, and it's how I met your mother, how to tie a tie, how to make out, how to screenshot on a Mac, how to boil eggs, how to make French toast, how to twerk. That's from just one quick little blip.
I will be honest with you. I was the one that wanted to learn how to twerk.
Actually, what we should do is go to because that was a Google one, right?
Yeah, so let's Bing.
I wonder what a Bing one would do.
Let's go Bing. Let's see here. So let's go how to. So they have how to get rid of fruit flies, how to roast pumpkin seeds, how to draw, how to make pumpkin seeds, how to cook spaghetti squash. Oh my goodness.
It must just be those particular sites, whatever more people have gone to. Maybe that's how it's rated, by how many people actually ask those questions. No, I guess a lot of people on Bing want to know about spaghetti squash.
Here's the best one. So I just typed in crack is.
Right.
So we have crack is whack playground, crack is whack quote, crack is Whitney Houston, and then the last one is crack is good for you. And look, it's to the Ford.
Well, yeah, thank you, Internet. Well, I did not have a song for this week.
Oh,
Did
no.
anybody have a song for the week? If not, we'll just move forward to our headlines.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any. I know there's a couple of bands that are out there. Atlas Genius has been out. They have this song called If So. It's pretty popular. And then there's also one called The Neighborhood, but they spell it like Neighbour.
Right.
Hood. I think.
Oh, like they're British or something.
I guess so, yeah. So
Yeah.
they have a couple of songs too.
Like
they have
color, COLOUR.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's throw another letter in there. Why not? Because we're all bloody British. Have you seen the color of my Star Wars collection?
That's it.
I
It's
told you, Steve, I do not care.
but it's like STAWUR.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars.
Star.
Star Wars.
No, when you said missing link, it made me think I've been watching Destination Truth on Netflix.
Oh, like with those are great.
Those are great though. But it's the one guy that I was just coming up with like this funny thing. I'm like, this could be something on like Saturday Night Live or something like that, where it's all like they always talk to the people like they had an encounter with the like
Whatever.
so they're,
Right, the Yeti
so
or
they're in
Sasquatch
Australia and whatever their version of the Sasquatch is or whatnot. So the like guys telling the story, so like, so mate, I'm there, and it just comes walking across the street. So I grab it and I just have sex with it. And then I'm thinking like the host is like, wait, what? And like everybody he talks to in that town is like, yeah, I saw it too. And I just had sex with it. It's like, wait a minute. You're telling me that everybody had sex with this mystical creature.
Right. Oh, God.
Yeah, I thought that too. Like Missing Link, because they're doing that too. Like National Geographic is going with this team to like look for Bigfoot, and then everyone else said the same thing. It's like, why? Like the guy who invented the suit even admitted that it was just like he made it up.
Big a hoax, yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of the best hosts.
No, it was like the
ever.
guys with the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
There were two of them, and the second guy who was the first guy died, and the second guy in his deathbed,
Admitted that,
oh yeah, it was just a hoax. We just went in and did it. So goodbye.
Yeah, like, bah. Yeah, and I'm dead.
I'd rather had that story instead.
Yeah.
Steve is showing me for his funeral him being frozen in carbonite.
Oh look, it's a Jar Jar Binks wall.
This is like the 12th one. I really hate my life.
They had that too. They had an uncut footage they were shown recently. They had all these things with Star Wars, and one of the first ones is the part where in episode 1 where they tethered to the wall. They used the wall to like get across the boat before it goes over the waterfall.
Right.
And then the thing goes over, and then all of a sudden Jar Jar like pops up, like I guess he swam to shore or something. Well, they were showing like the cut version that they were going to use, and the version is Jar Jar goes over the waterfall with the ship.
Right.
And like all these people are just like, oh, what could have been?
Oh, what could have been? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, if only.
Yeah.
Misa going overboard.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, oh, he cut that because oh no, he's getting this is.
Oh, it'd be too
This
terrible.
is the next,
yeah.
this is
This
the
is
next
the next
Chewbacca
Yoda.
or whatever. Yeah, this is like the next big icon, and it's like, oh man.
No,
You know what I think
no
they
such
should
one.
do in episode 7 though? Episode 7 they should have a game sitting down with Chewbacca and Jar Jar Binks, and he does not let the Wookiee win.
Yeah, exactly. And we get to see what happens.
Misa beating me with own arms.
Me no lie.
Misa gonna die. You and me both, Josh.
Yeah.
You and me both.
I'm here on the set. Of
I am here with
episode-
Steve in line. Steve, I am not going to buy your ticket for Star Wars episode 7.
We're here at the movie theater to see Steve and his gang of
No.
hoodlums
No.
perform reenactment of episode. I really hate this network. If anyone is hiring,
Yeah.
I'll do anything. I'll even do this thing with Regis and Kelly. I don't care.
I
I'm just
need to
saying
do
that's all it is. Like
something.
all his segments are with this guy. They're always doing something Star Wars related.
Finally, I'm at the premiere of Star Trek. Where's the Trek going? Why are you putting up wars? No, I hate my life.
We're here at
It's just like how monotone this guy was on the reports. It's like he
Yeah.
has the biggest collection of Star Wars toys, and I have the biggest collection of pot.
together. We make an unbeatable
Together,
team.
we fight crime.
Yeah.
Can't even do it. We're gonna-
Steve's losing it.
Oh, hey, don't say I didn't warn you. In our last podcast, I talked about the problems and the crappy companies I had to choose from using Obamacare's wonderful healthcare.gov website. Specifically, I believe I mentioned the opening website, which which pictured a smiling woman, and how bad I felt for her because of how bad the site behaves, and how much blame people would bestow on her just because she had the misfortune of being the first person you're going to see when you get to this site. Well, it seems I was right. Recently, the woman, only known as Adriana, appeared on ABC's Good Morning America to complain about the amount of cyberbullying she received as being the frontman, or woman, of the healthcare.gov website. Adriana said she is from Colombia, is a mother and a wife who lives in Maryland, and that though she is eligible for health care through the Affordable Care Act, she hasn't signed up for it and is neither in favor nor against it. Her husband and 21-month-old son are U.S. citizens, and Adriana said she is applying for her own citizenship. Now, the saga of her photo started innocuously enough. Basically, she was seeking free family photographs and emailed a contact at the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, the agency that's actually responsible for the Affordable Care Act, about having her photos and her family taken in exchange for allowing the photos to be used to market the new health care law. She said she was never paid for the photos. Okay, now my first problem with this is, let's address the free family photo issue. Do neither you, your husband, your friends, or anyone you know own a smartphone with a camera? Okay.
If you don't, talk to Steve. He has 20 of them.
He's got a Star Wars
based ones.
Now, could you also not go into like a Walgreens or CVS and pick up like a disposable camera? I mean, come on. I mean, what were these? These were going to be like huge glossy photos and glam shots, but I mean, come on. Anyway, the show goes on to say that after the website's ill-fated launch, Adriana was dubbed the enigmatic Mona Lisa of healthcare. Her face was soon mocked, photoshopped, and altered. She became the subject of late-night jokes, partisan hatred, and intense speculation. Now, in all honesty, I do feel sorry for her because, first of all, I have such a low opinion of the human race, and that you know that this was going to happen. Hopefully she can get back to some sort of normal life and not be saddled as the Obama healthcare girl forever.
You know she will. It's like these things come and go. I mean, look, everyone was all up in arms with Miley Cyrus, and now that's like blown over. Like the problem with us now, we have a really small attention span.
What?
Yeah. Unlike Steve with his Star Wars toys, because that's all
I've got about 300,000 Star Wars memorabilia
I know.
in my garage.
That's great.
It's in my garage.
You told me this 20
I'm going
times.
to get $1 million for $1 million.
I told you to stop calling me at home.
I have a Jar Jar Binks toy, the size of
a tangerine.
So, what's on your mind? Anything bugging you? Anything got your goat?
The only thing that's got my goat is Steve, and he calls it Gargantua, a new Star Wars character he hopes to be in the next film he invented. I told him no.
Well, what I've been up to is your mom and I have recently caught up on season 3 of White Collar.
Oh, nice.
White Collar is about a former con man who gets captured by his FBI companion now, and they work together to help solve crimes.
Because that's what happens.
Because that happens all the time.
That's going to happen with Steve and that reporter soon.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bromance type of a thing, and it's okay. It was the show was it was good. It's kind of getting formulaic. It's becoming more formalized.
Where it's kind of the same.
Yeah, where it's like
have the same kind of like that one, the one with
Suits.
On USA. Well, on USA, that one, the guy who would build the things, he was like a spy. Something had Bruce Campbell in it.
Burn Notice.
Because it seemed like it had the same kind of thing where like you get a little bit of a little bit of information, but it's kind of was the same formula.
Then he was getting close to this guy and he died. Yeah. And he gets close to that guy, he died. And he gets close to that guy.
I wish every time I got close to Steve, he died.
I die a little bit inside.
Maybe you should introduce him to the guy in Burn Notice.
I tried, and then Burn Notice became the new Jar Jar Binks.
Well, since our last show, there have been 2 more episodes of AMC's The Walking Dead.
That's true.
For a recap of those shows, here's a little section we like to call Christopher Walken Dead. Your thoughts, Mr. Walken?
Hold on, I got new stuff. Check this out. Little theme music to go in the background. High quality show now. I have a producer. He does a lot of interviews with Steve. Anyways, so far, if you're not caught up on Walking Dead, I apologize. Spoiler alert. So we found out people dying of a disease. I call it the bubonic plague. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyways, one girl took out 2 characters. She just stabbed them in the neck. Her name was Carol. Everyone thought she was a lesbian. And then she found a thing for Daryl. And then she left Daryl for a fat guy. And then the fat guy died and like gave her 2 kids. Which I'm like, that's a raw deal in a zombie apocalypse. You kind of want less kids hanging around in a zombie apocalypse. Unless you plan on using them for baits, like kicking them while they're down and taking off, going, eat them. They're delicious. Anyway, so after Rick finds this out, Rick is like, hey, we're going to go on a little run together, Carol. And I'm thinking Rick's just going to kill the woman, but he doesn't. They run into 2 hippies in a house where they're looking for food and scavenging. And the 2 hippies are like, oh, yeah, we could take care of themselves. Spoiler, no, they didn't.
Yeah, I guess the girl didn't have a leg to stand on, huh?
Oh, she did, but the other one was left at the door.
Oh.
They didn't like the tattoo. They're like, peace, love, that's out the window. And then we don't know what happened to the guy. So anyways, Rick tells Carol, you're not invited back to the pizza party. So get in your car and leave. And she was like, fine. And then she left. And then in the last episode, we find out that one African-American guy who has a drinking problem, he decides he wants more booze. So they go to this veterinary hospital to get medical supplies for the bubonic plague, which I say just eat the children. Delicious. The zombies are great. Anyway, so this booze hound then almost drops his backpack full of nothing but 1 bottle of booze, and everyone gets angry at him. They're like, I hate you. Daryl got in his face, and he was like, look, you drink that, I will end you. And I was all like, but I'm thirsty. Daryl, settle down. Come on, relax. Let's all have a good time drinking it up. Put your hands in the air. All the zombies did when I dropped the bag. They were like trying to grab it and like, my booze. And they're like, no.
No, booze.
So it was very weird. Anyways, and then at the end, spoiler alerts, it shows a preview of Mr. Governor there standing. I feel like he's like a stalker now. He's just chilling outside the gates. Maybe he's lonely. I don't know. He can't really see well. Maybe he's blind. He's got lost, turned around maybe.
At least you could say he's got his eye on them.
That's bad.
Oh, sorry.
I agree. I do not like Steve. No, you had your time, buddy. Go interview Star Wars. So that's the recap of The Walking Dead last 2 episodes. So Carol is off probably having a baby in real life or something because she didn't die. And obviously they want her back. And the governor, he's just like, hi, I'm here.
I'm here. I'm looking at where you're living. It looks nice.
I like the new gate. Sorry about breaking the old one.
Yeah, and dropping a load of zombies on you. I mean we just had them around.
To be fair,
we thought you'd like some.
To be fair, you did kind of, kill my zombie daughter and took an eye from me, and least I could do is give you zombies in return. It's like a housewarming present. You really took it the wrong way with the googly eyes. Anyway, so that's it for The Walking Dead. Join me in 2 weeks when I talk about 2 more episodes or 1 more episode, because I'll be going on hiatus, and then we'll speculate what's going to happen to Rick. I don't even know in this picture why they still have people in the picture who are dead. The governor, he still has 2 eyes, so this is old. Anyways.
Thank you, Mr. Walken.
Oh, I'll be walking out of here. Where's the turkey with the gun? He was delicious.
Well, everybody, this concludes another fabulous episode of The Idiot Section. On behalf of myself, Kyle, and Steve-O, we thank you for your sharing your time with us. We know this has been the highlight of your week, and for that, you are most welcome. If you purchase goods using Amazon.com, like Steve mentioned earlier for your Christmas shopping, may we kindly ask that you do so through a link from the sociallyawkwardstudios.com website. Amazon has agreed to sponsor our network with a portion of everything you buy from them through our site. It adds nothing to the cost of the product to you, but does provide us with a couple of pennies that we use to buy lovely gifts for our girlfriends like the mayor of Toronto.
Star Wars figures.
Also, don't get Steve on here because he'll just be buying Star Wars toys.
Right. We want to get in touch with Steve, actually, to have him shop through Socially Awkward Studios to Amazon.com to add to his Star Wars collection.
I do not want to be a part of that story.
Okay. Thank you for your support. If you would like to send us a tweet, look for the @TheIdiot section and tweet away. We love the attention, and we'd like to hear from you. If you'd like to join we're also on Facebook, and try to like us, even if you don't. You can also check out our website at, the website, theidiotsection.com, to find links from the show as well as other information you are probably better off not knowing. Thank you very much, and have a lovely Thanksgiving. Hey, who's that at the door? No, it's the turkey!
I really wish the turkey would have just killed me. This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com.